Welcome to the official Bernando Lopalo Legacy Podcast. I'm your host, Erica Akayani Chamberlain, Bernando's oldest grandchild and manager for all aspects of Bernando's legacy. Bernando Lopalo enjoyed a long and healthy life, dying free of any chronic diseases until the day he died at the age of 114 in Tempe, Arizona on December 19th, 2015. Born the son of a doctor and herbalist in Victoria, Brazil on August 17, 1901, he had 4 different careers. As a 5-star chef, in the healing arts, he worked as a massage therapist, reflexologist, and podiatrist, a natural health consultant, and, in his hundreds, as an author and lecturer on the keys to his health and longevity. Bernando studied at La Sorbonne for the culinary arts in the 1920s, the Swedish Institute of Massage, and NYU in his 70s, the Robert Finance School of Hair and Makeup in his 80s, and as an herbologist well into his 90s. Noted for his smooth skin, dapper sartorial style, soothing voice, and sharp memory, he was a family man, the oldest living Yankees fan, and the oldest living Brazilian in the state of Arizona. Sought out by people from around the globe, he touched thousands of lives through radio, TV, and personal appearances, inspiring both young and old to add more life to their years instead of just years to their life. Listen, share, and be inspired. I conducted a series of interviews with people who had met and interacted with Bernando after he passed the century mark, so they could share the impact Bernando had had on their lives. In this edition of the podcast, I spoke to Jeannie Winkler from Monroe, Wisconsin, who at 88 years of age has a very active lifestyle and has been practicing yoga for over 40 years. You wouldn't think that a super centenarian like Bernando would have had much of an impact on her, but according to Jeannie, Bernando threw her for a loop.
I'm Jeannie Winkler, and some people call me Jean, other ones Jeannie, and I'm from Wisconsin, Monroe, Wisconsin, and Arizona, 6 months in each place, and I'm 88. I met Bernando at one of his lecture, and a friend of mine, and he had seen in the paper that Bernando was going to be speaking here in Apache Junction, and so we went, and we were just so thrilled and excited about meeting him. He was just the neatest man I have ever seen. We just wanted to get to know him better, and so Mark, my friend, made a buddy's book, Bernando's book. Mark talked to him, and we went to see him at his house. And I didn't think that he would ever be able to have time for us with his busy schedule, but we did.
So you would have met Bernando around the time when he was like 107 or 108?
Yes, that's right.
Did you read the book? And
Yes.
If so, what kind of impact did that have on you when you were, about 80, 81?
Mm-hmm. Actually, meeting him was the most prevalent impact for me, but I enjoyed his book very much, and just knowing him in the fabulous condition he was in at his age just threw me for a loop. I just couldn't believe it. What a joy it was to meet him and to know him later. And of course, Mark and I both got on superfood immediately. Bernando was just a wonderful conversationalist. And so when we went to meet him at his home, we were there for 5.5 hours. And
So you seem to have a pretty active lifestyle already. I understand that you do yoga. How did Bernando inspire you? Because I have the impression that you already had a very active lifestyle. So what more could Bernando add to your life about, living long and healthy that you already didn't have?
Of course, number one, it would be the superfood, and he was sold on it, and we became that also. And just his lifestyle, the clean-cut life he led and the way he ate. Little tips about different things that he had learned in life, of how, whether you had a cut or whatever it might be, that, things you could do for that. And of course, the olive oil, that's a biggie.
The extra virgin olive oil.
That's right.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Very important.
And cold pressed. He was just a delight and an impressionable man. And of course, his exercising even inspired me more to keep on with my yoga at my young, tender age. But yes, I've always tried to keep really busy. For our Christian Women's Connection, we always have a special speaker for a special feature. And I had asked Bernando if he would come and do that. So I went and picked him up and brought him back. And so I thought, well, rather than for him to just stand there and be by himself, to greet the women at the door, I would stand alongside of him. And so, of course, everybody knew me. And so they thought that it was my son or somebody that was with me. And, this just tickled me. Almost every woman, And so I said, oh, no, this is the gentleman. And I think he was 107 or 108 at that time. I said, he's our speaker today. And they just, that can't be, just like always, so neatly dressed and no wrinkles and dark hair and no gray. No hardly to speak of. It was just a pure delight that day. Of course, like I said, we were at the door and the ladies would come in and the one lady said, well, where is this man that's going to be speaking that's, 100 and some years old today? I said, he's standing right alongside of me. And she said, oh, no. She said, that can't be. She said, he's not that old. She said, he doesn't have any wrinkles. He looks so good. And of course, he was so neatly dressed. But that was so funny. And so many of the women had the same comment when they came in. I think if I remember right, the comments were, probably like in the 70s, and it was just amazing. And that's delightful when somebody thinks you're that young.
We hope you enjoyed the official Bernando LaPallo Legacy podcast, produced by his granddaughter, Erica Chamberlain. You can find Bernando's books, videos, Facebook page, and legacy news by visiting www.agelesslivemorestore.com.